Okay, do you want me to repeat anything? Can I proceed with editor part? So now in order to go to editor, very first thing is we need to create a new project. As soon as you do try to create a new project, again on the left hand side there are four options. Okay. So the four options which are there, very first one is, do you want to see over here all templates? So by default, please keep it to be all templates only. Do you want to have some core templates? Core templates are without any asset. Those are blank with needed game objects. Okay, then we are having sample and then we are having learning over here. I hope this much things are clear now. So in all templates, we are having some pipelines over here. Very first over here is something called as BRP. Okay. So BRP stands for built-in render pipeline, which we do try to use. Can you see this 3D BRP written over here? Okay. So we do use this BRP. This was in use till Unity 2023. After 23, most of your projects are made over here with URP. Okay. So with URP, I mean Universal 3D over here. You can see Universal 3D, and on the right side, you can see this word URP written over here. Okay. Universal Renderer Pipeline. Then we do also have something called as HDRP, High Definition Renderer Pipeline. From 3D basic BRP, okay, to URP to HDRP. So as you do create these projects, okay, you would be needing more file size, your project size would be more. I just want to show the same difference over here. In order to show the difference, okay, kindly try to see the same thing over here. So I am over here in Unity Asset Store, wherein here there is a project. This fantasy forest which I did open right now, okay. Can you see the file size? How much is the file size? It is 5.1 MB. I try to open the image in a new tab and I try to zoom in. Do you see trees? Do you see leaves? Do you see grass? Will any of them move? Everything is static. Color is also, it is just, what is it? It is just a color which is being, put over there. Okay. So this is a BRP project. This is in universal, sorry, a built-in renderer pipeline over here. I do try to show one more project over here, okay, called as Book of Dead Environment over here. Now, in which renderer pipeline is this created? Please help me in understanding that part over here. Can you let me know, is this project compatible with BRP? No. Is this compatible with URP? No. If you want to use this, you need to create project in HDRP template. I hope this thing is understood. So in the beginning itself, we will be using one HDRP template. Now, just try to see the file size. How much is the file size now? 2.7 GB, nearly 3 GB, and that was around 5 MB. Okay. So higher you do try to create like a higher amount of resolution you do try to add, higher will be the project size. I guess this is one of the PC directly from the lab itself. So it would be nearly 16 GB RAM of 16 GB RAM would be there. Okay, and you do have, if I'm not wrong, 12 cores over here. Okay, so in this you would be able to load, but 2.7 GB to download or to uncompress it, and then again to load on the RAM, you would be needing higher disk space and higher RAM size. Okay, so for time being, we are limiting our learning just to BRP and max to max URP template, and that URP template we are going to use for the headsets part over here. Okay, when we are having the headset. Now let us try to understand these In understanding these, okay, there are few templates in core, there are few templates in sample, and then there are few templates in learning over here. Okay, so here as of now, let us go ahead with all templates. I use universal 3D. I give the project name. Okay, and please ensure you do change the drive. Do not save anything in the C drive, documents, downloads, desktop. Please do not save anything in the C drive. आपको पता नहीं लगता है, C drive keeps on getting filled, and there is a time wherein this color over here from blue as of now directly turns to red. Okay, and then एक टाइम आता है भी यूनिटी पे कुछ काम कर रहे थे और वो डिस्क फुल हो गया, एंड देन वो ब्लू स्क्रीन आ जाएगा, एंड देन यू आर नॉट एबल टू स्टार्ट योर पीसी बिकॉज इट विल शो zero free space. So please do not save anything in the C drive. If you do have just the C drive, please keep deleting unwanted projects. Unwanted project delete करने का तरीका ये नहीं है भी हब के ऊपर you did click और इधर जाके here you did click on remove. If you click on remove, this project is not going to get deleted. It is just going to get removed from the entry over here. Please click, okay, on these three dots, click on show in explorer, and then here your project is there. So right now whatever projects are there, you can anytime try to click on deleting. Okay, so it will take around 5-10 minutes just to calculate the number of files. You can see around 1 lakh 1.5 lakh files for abhi ho gaye, and then it is going to delete 10 GB for around 9 projects over here. Okay, and projects are also just high hello wale projects, and it does take that much amount of space. I hope this thing is understood, and then later on you can remove that particular project from your entry over here. But before removing it from the entry, please ensure you do delete it from your disk over here. Okay, so now let us go to a place called as editor. In order to reach there, I am using something called as a universal a built-in render pipeline template. I just download this template. Okay, now while doing this, here again there is one big problem over here. Okay, how will you switch the editor over here? Where is that option to switch the editor? Right now I am going to create a project. The project would be there in which installer? I am having two versions, Unity 6 and Unity 2022. This BRP project is going to get created in which installer? Can you please highlight from where to change? So you need to change from the top part over here wherein the editor version is there. Please click on it and switch. Okay, so once you do switch, Unity 2022 mein 3D BRP is there by default. Okay, you need not to do anything. Along with this, I just again switch the folder, and I just give the project a meaningful name over here. There is no need as of now to connect to Unity Cloud. Okay, so I have now executed the command to create a new project in Unity editor. Over here, please do not double click. A single click works. If you double click, that means you are giving instruction to Unity Hub to open the same project twice. It again throws an error. So here single click works. Okay, please do not double click on any project which is there over here. So right now it is opening. Okay, Okay. So right now, a blank Unity project, okay, in BRP is getting open. In a BRP project, you do get two game objects by default with the project. One game object is called as main camera and second game object is called as directional light. Okay. So guys, for a few minutes, please do see over here. Afterwards, you all can continue. There are few important things which right now, if you are aware, because at the end, I'm just going to tell, okay, you have to create this thing. But in order to create, you should be aware whether you need to go to the hierarchy or you need to go to the inspector or you need to go to the asset store. Okay. So in order to be aware about those things right now, please see for a few minutes over here. Okay. So very first, let us get aware or let us get used to the UI. Let us know what all things are there over here. Okay. So very first thing about the windows. So on the top, you do have the name of your project followed by the name of the scene which is open followed by the version of Unity which is installed. Okay. Along with that, you do have main object component service window and help menu. And then for our ease, here your profile icon is there. Say in the beginning you did not connect it to the cloud, you can anytime click over here and connect to cloud. Whatever you are making, you want to show it in a research paper and you want to upload it on a Git. So here you can fork by using this Git icon. In the same horizontal periphery over here, you do have three important buttons: play, pause, and next, and then followed by these options over here. Okay. Now let us now quickly try to see what are the main windows which we do have. So as rightly told by you all, on the very left side we are having something called as hierarchy. Okay. In hierarchy, can you let me know what is the basic game unit or what is the name that is given to the person who is going to hold everything over here? In hierarchy, what do you create? Very first, who is on the top level hierarchy over here? If you press Control N, okay, Control plus N, if you do press, a new what will be created over here? Scene. I hope this thing is understood. So in Unity, we have scene to be there as the basic unit. By default, we have been given a sample scene. In the assets, sample scene is rightly stored in a folder called as scene. Do you see this icon over here? So this is Unity's icon to show a scene over here. I hope ये बात आ रही है समझ में. Any new scene, any new 3D scene, whatever you do create in Unity, will have two basic game objects, one called as main camera and second called as light. So a scene holds game objects. I hope this thing is clear. So here, whatever you do create beneath or inside a scene, these things will be called as what? These things will be called as game objects. Okay, may it be a 3D plane, sorry, may it be a 2D plane, may it be a cube, may it be a cylinder, whatever it is, may it be a person, whatever is there over here. In Unity terms, we are going to call it what? We are going to call it a game object over here. I hope this thing is understood. Now, a scene holds a game object. Okay, then here your asset holds all the game objects as well as your scenes over here. Okay, please try to understand this particular basic thing over here first. So if you do press Control N, you are creating something called as a scene. Okay, Please do not forget to save your scene. You save your scenes, you do not save your project. If you press Ctrl S, whatever scene you have created, that will be saved. Within a scene, you can press Ctrl Z n number of times. If you close a scene, you will not be able to undo anything. I hope this thing is clear. I press Ctrl S. So my sample scene as of now is saved. I press Ctrl N and I create a new scene. You can see a new name over here. What is the name right now? It is untitled. I quickly add a cube. I add a sphere. Okay, I do basic manipulation. ये सब चीजें I do over here. Within a scene, no matter how many times you want, you can do undo. Okay, but if you do not save a scene and if you open any other scene, you will not be able to undo now. I hope this thing is understood. You have two options in BRP to create a scene. I press Ctrl N. We have a BRP built-in scene. Built-in scene has a camera and a directional light over here. If you use an empty template, you will not have anything inside the scene. I hope this difference is now understood. So I open back this scene which was there. So I hope this hierarchy is somewhat understood. Okay, so in hierarchy, you add game objects inside a scene. Your scene is the topmost thing of hierarchy which holds everything over here. Okay, I hope these things are clear now. Now, just next to hierarchy, there are two windows which are stacked one besides other. One window is called as a scene window. What is the name? Scene window. Okay, so in scene window, you do create what it is called as a scene. So in the class also, you all are good at creating scenes, and here also you are creating what? Here also you are trying to create a scene. Now here, try to understand whatever you are trying to create would be there in a 3D space. Okay, and in this 3D space, you are having someone called as a main camera. So if I just select the main camera, you will now be able to see how that main camera is seen over here. ये दिख रहा है main camera. So whatever volume this main camera is having, any game object which is within this envelope would be visible in the output. Otherwise, it is not going to be visible. I hope this thing is clear. Okay. Then second one, we are having someone called as a directional light. Okay. You can play with it, intensity, shadow, all those things we can change. One by one, we will try to change. But as of now, for today, my teaching part would be more. Okay. So try to understand, because later on you need to do things on your own. So whatever is being told today, so those things are again going to help you. So very first thing, sample scene, main camera के पास एक envelope है, and then we are having something called as a directional light. Okay. Now, once you are done with creating your scene, if you do click on play, you would be switched to a window called as simulator over here. Okay. You would by default be switched. Okay. So how your output is going to be visible. Now in everyone's case, this might be different. Okay, so I just stop. Here there are two windows. By default, both windows do switch. Now you can anytime try to change the simulator over here. You can try adding additional windows also if you want. Okay, you can have simulator window. I do suggest having game window as of now. And here there are three settings which are there. Usually please keep play focused. Okay, and now from scene, if you click on play, you will find it automatically switches to the game window. And now if you stop, it will switch back to the scene window. Okay, so what did I do? I did click on play focused over here. I hope guys this thing is clear. Okay, now there is one more window over here. So let me first tell that. So here there are three things when you do try to play. There is something called as play focus. That means if you are there in play mode, no matter where your window would be, whichever window would be there, it will by default pop up the game window. Okay, so this is what is recommended. Second is play unfocused. In play unfocused, even though if you are there in play mode, you will not see the game window. You manually have to go over there. I hope guys this thing is understood. Okay, then the third option is play maximized. If you are using this, please try to see what is the difference when I play. So right now I am trying to go in the play mode. Do you see the difference? Getting it or not getting it? Okay, so now it is recommended that you keep on play focused over here. Okay, now one most important window which we would be needing often, which is called as inspector window or inspector tab over here. It is by default open. Any idea when will you see anything over here? When you नो जरूरी नहीं गेम ऑब्जेक्ट ऐड करना है. हाँ, so here whenever you do select a game object, okay, तो जो भी game object को आप select करोगे, you will see its property over here in the inspector tab. Okay, hierarchy में what was the lowermost thing who saves everything or who has everything grouped inside it? It was scene. In inspector, what is it that saves or differentiate things over here? In hierarchy, you do add either a scene or you do add a game object. In inspector, what do you add? तो देखो सबसे नीचे लिखा हुआ है. What do you add? You add a component. Getting it or not getting it? So in inspector, you have something called as a component, which is the basic thing. There are few components which we get by default. There are others which you can add. I hope यहाँ तक बात समझ आ रही है. This much you all are aware, right? So you can anytime try to see there is a black dark line which differentiates between one or more component over here. So if you do try to close, you can see a component is being closed over here. You can anytime add components. I hope this thing is understood. So whenever I do tell add a component, you need to ask me, sir, which game object? Okay, so you need to select that game object, and then when you do go, you would be able to add a component over here. Okay, now one important thing which many of you might be knowing or not, I do not know, but you all need to do that right now. So very important thing over here is Unity has different layouts over here. Okay, as you get pro over here, okay, very soon on LinkedIn you would be telling professional Unity gamer, so game developer or whatever you wish. So in that case, you might change the layout. Okay, so if at all you are changing the layout, Unity has some default layouts. What is recommended, that also I will tell you. So if you do click on the top right side, there is a tab called as layout. You can reach to this layout over here, or you can go to window, and in window also there is something called as what? Layout. 5 types of layouts are there which Unity has given. Please see over here and let me know what changes. So I now change the layout to 2x3. What did change? क्या change हो गया? Game or scene, one above other. Okay, and your other 3 windows, hierarchy, project inspector, stacked on the right. Then 4 split. क्या हो गया अभी 4 split में? 4 game windows. Why do you need 4 scenes? 4 scene क्यों चाहिए? Engineering drawing. Front view, top view, side view, and isometric view. You can configure any view, whatever you want. Okay. Then we are having something called as a tall. Okay, क्या हो गया tall में? Game scene दोनों बड़ा होके आ गया. Then you are having something called as wide. Okay, and then there is something called as a default. Usually, whoever sits, since we are there in a lab, so it might happen that some other student might have used. So he or she might have changed the default scene also. So in this case, I always recommend you do click on that layout button. You do click on reset all layout once. इसको forcefully click कर दो. जो भी layout है उसको क्या कर दो आप लोग? Reset कर दो. I hope till here there is no problem. Okay, now can I proceed next? Okay, so right now I am there in game window. I am having game, I am having scene, I am having inspector, I am having project, I am having console. So after this, now there is something called as manipulation. Manipulation we are doing of two things: scene manipulation and game object manipulation. Okay, any idea what would be the difference between the two? In scene, when you do manipulate a scene, what changes? When you do manipulate a game object, what changes? Can you please help me with that? Right now I am there in scene window. How do I manipulate a scene? So in order to make you aware, what do? I just expand this so that I do see both the components. I right click, 3D object, I create a cube. So in my scene, I have a simple cube. I am not trying to manipulate this game object. I am trying to manipulate the scene. Okay. If you manipulate a scene, there is no change of coordinate of any game object with respect to origin. Okay, the entire scene changes. In order to manipulate scene, there are few shortcuts. One over here is zoom in and zoom out. In Unity, how do you zoom in and zoom out? How do you do that? Scroll. So scroll के साथ you are able to zoom in and zoom out. First manipulation समझ में आया. Then what happens if you press middle mouse button and drag? So there are three keywords in any CAD software: zoom, pan and rotate. Okay, zoom कैसे करने पता लग गया? Middle mouse button. It is middle mouse button को if you do try to scroll, it is going to zoom. If you keep it pressed, you can see the cursor changes from a pointer to a hand, and it will help you in panning over here. This is not object manipulation, this is scene manipulation. Try to understand the difference between the two. Okay. Next, you can anytime rotate your scene by just doing the left click. What is pressed? Left click. Can you see the scene getting rotated over here? Okay, तीनों चीजें पता लग गई. Zoom, pan, rotate. Then there is one more called as fit to view. For that, you just need to select the game object, move your mouse in the scene and press your favorite letter called as F. Okay, जैसे ही press कर दोगे, it will fit to screen. I hope this thing is understood. हाँ, वो F आया तो बार बार करना ही बोलेगा अभी. It is zoom, pan, rotate. So in order to fit, say if it is here and there, object की तरह पता नहीं. Select the game object, just ensure your mouse is there in the scene and you do press F. Zoom, pan, rotate and fit to view. Scene manipulation is understood? Okay, till here any problem? Does anyone want me to repeat? Okay, hierarchy, scene, game, inspector, project and console. I hope these things are understood now. Now let us try to go ahead with object manipulation. Okay, how to create an object, where does an object gets created, and what are the ways to manipulate an object. For that, please let me know what are these keyboards called. ये कीबोर्ड को क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? Based on the key layout, what is it called? QWERTY. Okay, why is it so? because your letters arranged, it is in that particular manner, QWERTY, right? Now, do you see object manipulation toolbar over here? I have zoomed in my screen, hence it is vertical over here. In your case, it might be horizontal over here. Okay, that is the only change which might be there. Rest, there is no change. Okay, do you see this toolbar? Everyone is familiar with this toolbar? Now, the shortcut over here is QWERTY. If you press Q, this will be selected over here. Okay, now what is the very first one? So very first one is